Yo, YouTube, what's up?
What's going on with y'all today? Checking in. Um, Getting closer to my code. Learn how to do for loop today. Learn how to again call an object and actually have it work because yesterday it wasn't working. But call an object in the terminal, which will allow me to put all of the files that's in the terminal into the object, and then run an analysis on all the files that are in the object. So I was able to run FastQC on all my samples very easily, all the ones that were saved on the computer. I'm gonna excuse me, get with my lab mate in a minute and talk about getting on Pegasus so I can upload all my samples onto there and figure out how that works. Cause I want to get this done, man. So if I can figure out what I got to do with that, if I can just write these scripts and then upload everything on Pegasus, I don't know. I'm gonna talk to him in a minute and figure out how to do that. Um, yeah. Besides that, I had the meeting this morning about Juneteenth. It went very well. Put together a little PowerPoint. I wish I knew how to put that on here and I could present it for y'all, but I don't honestly know how to do that. But put together a little PowerPoint and that went well. Um, Talked about what Juneteenth was, or not was, what it is, why it is, the history of it, and talked about the Black National Anthem, Lift Every Voice and Sing. If you haven't heard of it, I encourage you to go check it out. Um, because like Independence Day, July 4th, that's not Black Independence Day. That did not cause Black people to be independent. When Independence Day happened, when America claimed their independence from Great Britain or whoever the heck owned America at the time, um, when that happened, they were slaves in like every state. So, so for Black people, it was just another day. So celebrating July 4th means absolutely nothing to Black people. It is not our Independence Day at all. You feel me? Um, it's white people Independence Day, and so now Juneteenth is actually Black Independence Day. That's the day that slavery was finally outlawed in Texas because the Union armies came down and told Texas they better stop the nonsense. So after the Emancipation Proclamation, which happened in 1862, I believe, about 3 years later in 1865, on June 19th, that's when the final state, Texas, the final Confederate state, Texas, um, was called to outlaw slavery. There was actually still slaves held in the Union side. Tell me about it. Up until December of 1865, um, I believe in Delaware and somewhere else. I forget. I had it written down in my presentation, but there were still slaves held up there until December 1865 when the 13th Amendment was ratified, and but anyway, June 19th has been commemorated as the day that they finally freed the last of the enslaved people here in America, the black and the you know the end of chattel slavery, except for the two states up there, and then so that's the independence. That's the actual Independence Day, which should be the actual Independence Day period for America, because that includes all America now, right? Not just white America. Apparently, there's a debate. Someone told me that, like, of course, the Fox News is having a debate saying that because Juneteenth is now a national holiday, they're trying to separate and divide America because there shouldn't be two Independence Day. Everyone should be happy for July 4th. But again, July 4th means nothing to black people. Black people, we need to stop celebrating July 4th. That is not for us. That is nothing to do with us. You feel me? Like, it we need our own day, Juneteenth. You feel me? And so that's what Juneteenth is about. It's also called Freedom Day, um, and and we talked about, was this a symbolic win, because people weren't asking for Juneteenth to become a national holiday. People who celebrated Juneteenth. People who didn't either didn't know about it. Usually, most of white people didn't know about it, or they didn't care about it, right? Because people are still not considered absolutely free. It's like free-ish, right? Um, but now that it's mainstream, people worried about appropriation and and other stuff like that. And we talked about, is this a symbolic victory, because it wasn't asked for. What was asked for was police reform, um, stop gutting voter taxes, not voter, sorry, stop gutting voter rights, gutting voting rights, stop doing that, and teaching critical race theory in elementary schools and stuff like that. But like states like Florida, which I'm in, has banned critical race theory being taught and other things like that, but they're allowing Juneteenth to be a national holiday. And what was really funny is one of the Republicans who didn't want Juneteenth to be a national holiday, who was against it at first, said that he didn't think that America could afford making it another holiday, a national holiday, because on national holidays you got to pay um, federal workers for the time off. And he said that he doesn't think that we can afford it, which was funny to me because this is a holiday celebrating the end of slavery, and this man doesn't want to pay people, right? It's kind of like, he still wants slaves, um, or people to be enslaved. And so anyway, Juneteenth is tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll wish you all happy Juneteenth. Um, but we had a meeting today discussing it, and it went fairly well. Um, yeah, we talked about how to celebrate it with others, and basically I just told them, as I would tell you if you're watching and you're not sure what to do for Juneteenth, just simply say Happy Juneteenth. You don't need to do much. Like, it's kind of like a Christmas or any other holiday. If you would send out messages to your friends saying Merry Christmas or Happy 4th of July or Happy Easter, send out messages saying Happy Juneteenth. It's as easy as that. And then if they want to come back with a conversation, have a conversation with them. Enlighten yourself. More importantly, talk to your peers. If you're white, talk to your parents. Talk to your family members. Tell them about Juneteenth. Tell them Happy Juneteenth. See if they even know what that is. Enlighten people. This isn't a thing to separate people. This is a joyous occasion. You feel me? So yeah, this whole negativity around this it's a little disconcerting, or not disconcerting, a little concerning. Um, but anyway, uh, what else did I want to say? Oh, I did want to mention real quick history lesson. Um, Abraham Lincoln, while he signed the Emancipation Proclamation, did not care to free the slaves. He didn't care about black people. A lot of people hold him up and think he was a great president. Um, Maybe you think he is, but he didn't care either way. As a person, he didn't care about black people. He wrote a letter to Greenlee. I forget the year, but look it up. The letter from Abraham Lincoln to Horace Greenlee. I'll try to get the real quote tomorrow, maybe. But basically, he said that if he could save the Union by freeing the enslaved, he would. But if he could save the Union without freeing anybody, he would do that too. He says his biggest concern is the Union, not the people. So he didn't care anything about black people. So neither the North nor the South wanted to free black people. They were very happy with the way it is. And you can tell that today because some white people still wish that it was the way it was before. Um, Luckily, it's not. But that's another thing about, I think I touched this on here, I'm not sure, but about how systemic racism is built into the system of America. Within the articles of the Declaration of Independence, it even states, or one of the articles, it does state that black people are only 3/5 of a person, that they are actual property. So racism is written into the beginning of this nation. So yes, racism is systemic. Understand that. That is all. Until next time, peace, love, and we'll talk tomorrow.